Good evening, Francis. This is the Bottom Liberia. How are you, my brother?
Well, I'm grateful, Paul. Give God the glory. How are you, my friend and brother?
My brother, I'm good. Thank God to be among the living. I usually say it's good to be back here. It's good to be among the living, and it's good that we'll have another day. So we before we get into the program, just do a quick newspaper intro here.
You're watching the review of Liberian newspapers headlines that made news during the week on the Bottom Line Liberia. Please join us every Tuesday and Friday at 7 p.m. Liberian time, 8 p.m. UK time, 9 Central European time.
Well, to our viewers that's joining us, this is the Bottom Line Liberia. We'll have issues. We usually review the newspaper on Tuesday and Friday. My co-host is Francie Mensah, who is in Sweden. Francie, how are you? Welcome to the Bottom Line discussion.
Yeah, again, Paul. It's a pleasure being here always to dissect the major issues that are trending in our country. Right now, we see corruption is raising its head again. So, no, it'll be an interesting discussion this evening. So,
Yeah.
how are you at your end? How are you?
My end is quiet. The country is a little bit sad because what happened, we were beaten in the final, so everything just went cool. And
Oh,
the national coach actually resigned today. So
yeah.
England is looking for new coach. So we were hoping for football to come back home, but it didn't happen. So the coach resigned. So the whole country kind of quiet and just looking for when maybe by the time the football come home, maybe it'll be over 60 years because we've gone 58 years already since the last won a tournament. So this is it's a discussion that everyone is having. So yeah, the coach resigned. We're now searching for a new coach.
Yeah, I mean, just quickly,
Yeah.
I
So
mean,
you want to take us?
yeah, just before we
Yeah.
go there quickly, I just want to know, say this. Look, England or the United Kingdom spend a lot of money on football. I think I know
Yeah.
before the Arabs came into the picture, Saudi Arabia, the United Kingdom, UK, a matter of fact, uh, was one. It was one of the highest, paying countries to come to football players, and there's so much investment into the sports. It's unfortunate that we have top teams from the UK, but still they cannot make any significant inroads when it comes to major tournaments.
That's
The
right.
World Cup, the Europe, the European Cup. So yeah. But anyway, unfortunately for that, I'll just say sorry, my man, and we hope that you guys could, we try. I need y'all can beat Scotland all the time, so y'all can have a tournament between the three countries: Scotland, Ireland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. Y'all can do your thing there, and y'all take the trophy.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
to our viewers for joining us, we'll be looking at the audit report that just came out about the EPS, and also the Liberian Council of Churches are now calling on the government to audit the $22 million rehabilitation on the road maintenance. So it's something we'll look at. And before we get into our little musical intro, Francie, I don't know, we just go straight into the topic. Take
Yeah.
us through on this. This coming soon. What I just want to take us through on this flyer here. What's this?
Yes. This is the flyers for the forthcoming joint Liberian European Diaspora Independence Day celebration in Wurzburg, Germany. Uh, it's going to be a 3-day event starting from Friday, July 26th to Sunday, July 28th. We're going to be sports, barbecue, and official indoors program. The European Federation of Liberian Association, which is the umbrella organization of all Liberian organizations in Europe.
Yeah.
On Friday, we're going to be having our AGM, the annual general meeting, or we call it the annual general assembly, where we want to be reviewing the year 2023 from July 26, 2023 to July 26, 2024. We're going to have a whole a program where we will have present the annual report, financial report, and what have you. And on Saturday will be the formal program, the indoors program with the red carpet. And on Saturday as well, we're having the football tournament as well. So it's going to be exciting. And Sunday's a barbecue and a fair wear. So
Wow.
just a summary of what is really happening on between Friday, July 26 to Sunday, July 28. We have Honorable Amaral Kane. He's the senator-elect, the senator, right? Babalu County. He's going to be the keynote speaker. We
Right.
expect a lot of other dignitaries from Liberia, from the Ministry of State, representing the president's office. Hopefully, we might have Senator Sir Joseph, and and the president of the Union of Liberian Associations in America, ULA, Mr. Mohammed Akieta. He will be at the grace occasion, and our ambassador to Germany, Honorable Younger Talawula, will be there as well, representing the government of Liberia at the event. So it's going to be, an exciting event. Come all, don't miss it. No, it's once in a year that we meet as Liberians in Europe. So we come from all over Europe, and friends from America as well. We flying in to great occasion. So this is going to be an epic event. So don't miss out. See you there on Friday, from Friday, July 26th to the 28th, to Sunday.
To Sunday. So what about this one here? I mean, as this flyer looking good. I see in your African attire with your nice great beard, looking young over there. And then there's another flyer here. Take us through this one here. I see a lot of artists. What's going on here?
Yes, we have side attractions on Saturday at the formal indoor program. Then after that, we're having the ball, and these artists will be performing. Most of them are local artists from Germany, and we have Moshedi, and we have Sister Albina Johnson. She's from the UK. Yes, she's from the UK, so she's a gospel singer, and we have a lot of other young Liberian artists from Germany as well. So it's this is going to be side attraction, and to lighten up the day. So yeah.
Right. So Liberians around Germany, in Europe, this event will be held in Duisburg, right? Am I getting it right?
No, Wurzburg.
Wolfsburg. Wolfsburg. Is the city that they made Volkswagen Golf?
Yeah, we made the Volkswagen.
Volkswagen. Okay. So this, if you're in Europe, there'll be a serious program going on for July 26th. It start the occasion. People will start arriving on the 25th. Then they will leave on the 28th. There will a lot of people coming, government officials as well. I know a lot of guys coming from the state. Dr. Peabody and his team will also be there. So we're looking forward to the occasion in, call the name again.
Yeah, the German people say Wurzburg.
Wolfsburg, Germany. So that's where
Wurzburg.
we're all looking forward to that trip. That's about a week time.
Yeah, it's just a week from now. No,
Wow.
next week Friday we will be dancing and grinding on there and having fun and meeting and interacting with new people, creating new contacts. So it's interesting that people who have not decided to come, please come and make new friends, new networking. So it will be, as I said, an epic event. So don't miss out.
Right.
It's the only time we have in Europe for Liberians to come together. Divorce of with the exception of have going to a funeral or so, but it's all Liberian thing. Everybody's from all over are invited. We do it annually every year.
Every year. So all roads lead to Germany, the place of the home of VW. So we'll all gather on the 26th, the 25th, 26th, 27th, and 28th. People start finding their way home. Thank you for the update, Francis. Thank you so much. Well, we're going to dive into politics a little bit. There's something that is training in Liberia. And today we'll be looking at this article. I don't know if you had a look, if you read this. This is the Liberian Council of Churches. Now, the Council of Churches calling upon the government to audit a $22 million rural rehabilitation funds that they think is some foul play went into this. I don't know if you read this story, Francis. You want to take us through?
Yes. The Council of Churches is calling on the government of Liberia through the auditing bureau to launch an audit into an alleged $22 million that should have been used on the littoral roads, the dusty roads in the country, in the various counties, and according to them, the money that is being that is in question has not actually been, the work has not actually been done. So I see the Minister of Public Works picture is there. I see the Finance Minister picture is there, and I see the I think that's the Auditor General picture as well. And then the president, I don't know this guy in the background. I think he's a local contractor, Yeah. So even in this article, they talk about an investigation into the 285 earth moving machines, equipment for that will be coming to the country. And they asked that an investigation takes place, and they think that it was wrong that the government did not follow the proper procedure. There's one part I like in this talk in this story is that they said that development. However, we cannot brush aside our laws in the name of development. I like that part so very, so much, because look, people use these things to this kind of situation to flirt the law, to use it as a scapegoat, and we must adhere to the laws that we have on the books. We always say Liberia is a country of laws, not men, and it's unfortunate that this administration will come and do the same thing that the past administrations did. So we are looking forward to the day Liberia will have a leader. I don't know who that leader will be, but I know we have few leaders out there, few people out there who can make the difference. Who, I mean, who would not be, cajoled into, corrupt acts from the followers, the surrogates.
Very interesting story. You're right, Francis, because they said the Liberian Council of Churches calls for audit of the $22 million used in the literary road rehabilitation. That's one. And then they went on to say also the yellow machine deal. That's another thing they call it for audit. But then in this article, they go to say corruption. If you can eliminate corruption or cut it down in a way, it actually kills development.
Yeah.
Corruption kills development. So if the $22 million that should have been used for the good cause, that we know that the president said in 100 days message that there will be no car stocking more. So that money was to be used. And then these guys are saying they're foul play on that money. So there might be an audit. You know, sometime last month, the horse pardon, the public works minister and other regarding the same money. So now the Council of Churches said the preachers men now are now involving in this. That's a good sign in Liberia, because during the George Weah administration, we could not hear anyone, clergymen, calling on the government for their corrupt act. Now we see the Council of Churches speaking out for the first time in many years. You know, in the old days, you have Reverend Kula, you have Bishop Brown, you have all of these people that when the government do something wrong, they will step in and say, no, this is wrong. But this is the first time for many years. So how you see it? The role of the church? Talk to me, Francis.
No, the church is an integral part of the society. I mean, the church borders on morality, justice, and equality. And when these things are not upheld, when we have corruption, injustice, inequality, especially when it comes to the distribution of wealth in the country and the rule of law, it's the church responsibility to come out, to address the issues. As you rightly stated, in the 70s and 80s, we had the likes of the late Mother Dukley, we had Bishop Brown, we have Archbishop Michael Francis, we have Bishop Reverend Reeves from the Baptist Church. So
yes.
Yeah, and Peter Amos George, Reverend George, was another vocal pastor. So Bishop Kula, all the guys were there, making sure that the government was operating within the boundaries of of the law.
Yeah.
So it's a good thing to say, but I hope, they will not just come up with this statement for now. They should be very, very aggressive going forward, and they want to see a continuation of this advocacy. I guess it will help the government and and the president who should be and a Baptist man, because the president from the Baptist Church, Ethel Baptist Church in Painesville, is a deacon. He should be a God-fearing man, and corruption should have no place. Should have no connection with him. It shouldn't be around him. So we hope that he will do something to curtail this, or probably and put an end to it. Yeah, in,
Yeah.
in the picture there's Dr. Samuel Reeves. He's a person on the council of churches. He's,
Yeah.
from the Baptist Church.
I mean, I think this is good because the church, I mean, they've been silent for a very long time. So I think it's good. And we all want, we're heading for July 26th. Liberia be what, 171, 7 years?
77.
So, and we talk about development. It cannot come and then people, I mean, this will lead us to another topic regarding what we're seeing on their corruption affecting progress. If people are corrupt, there is no development because one group of people will just take the money and pocket it in for themselves and their family, and then the whole country people just live in abject poverty, which is totally wrong. So I think it's good that the church is now speaking out. This is a good news, and we hope that it continue, not just one off. They should always speak for the people. Yeah.
Yeah. I think the guy called Bishop Cottle Brown at one time, though he was a little bit lenient, he was a bit leaning towards the CDC because he was the president of the Council of Churches, during the 6-year regime of the Congress for Democratic Change, or the Coalition for Democratic Change. I mean, he was a little bit vocal, but I guess he was a little bit sublime in his in the advocacy. So I forgot to mention Sheikh Kafuma Kone, the late Sheikh Kafuma Kone, the
Right.
Muslim the Imam, or what you call it. He was another strong advocate of vocal against corruption and social injustices in the country.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah.
Right. So let progress. Let progress. This is interesting. We know that there was the GAC, which is the General Auditing Group, right?
Commission. Yeah. Mhm.
In Liberia. They did carry out an audit, and recently they said they're going to, I think it was 3 entities they're looking at to start with. But then they started with the EPS. So, Francis, take us through this. Liberia GAC. Other shows.
Mhm.
You can hear that. Take us through.
Yeah. Shows executive protection services cannot account. According to the information, it states that from July 1st, 2018 to December 31st, 2023, the EPS, Executive Protection Services, squandered the leadership or the institution, squandered and misappropriated the amount of US $24 million and $621 million Liberian dollars. And it's quite unfortunate that EPS, as of law, should be the protective arm of the presidency, or our VIPs, and they should be far from away from corruption. So this tells you that our lives of our president, the VIPs and government officials, is not 100% stable, protected. I mean, these guys can be bribed, and anything can happen to our leaders. And institutions should be beyond the reproach of anything that has to do with corruption. And the people and it's not only George Weah, even Elling administration use the EPS and the NSA to fund their money, to siphon money into the personal account, because this story says that they allegedly pay vendors. It's not by the institution, it's like employees who are working there, individual employees.
Right.
Like, let's say Chocon, because Chocon, the boss at the time, he, according to reports, he absconded the country the last 6 months or 7 months before elections. He did not come back. He went to the United States. He did not come back. So according to
Wow.
reports. So, but I mean, these things happen when the administration, the president, or whosoever, and the minister of finance, and the colleagues, the cahoots, channel money through these institutions. Because I mean, institutions, but I mean, people do not want to audit them because they come up with a lot of bureaucracy. It has security implications, and you cannot audit them because they are special security branches. So it's unfortunate that these things happen. Even interestingly in this story, Paul, is that they have the employee development funds.
Yeah.
There's a guy they call James Help. He took almost $70,000, man, for the people in account, for the
So
employees. The money was deducted from the agents, the EPS agents. Deducted from the salary, which would have gone, which went into a fund, an account, and they went and
Francis,
withdrew the money.
Francis, this is interesting story though.
It is.
This EPS, their management made payment for goods and services, and they cannot give accountability for
No.
$24 million on goods and services. There's no paper trail at all to show what they use that money for. So now, what comes to my mind? If this, your security person, $24 million alone, if you add the Liberian dollars on this, you're talking about closer to $30 million that walk away from EPS with no accountability.
Yes.
What is EPS doing with all that money? What are they buying? What goods and services to protect the executive? Is that why they spend all that money, and then JFK and all of institutions don't have funds?
No, it's unfortunate, man.
There's a lot of money.
It's
Wow.
unfortunate. It's unfortunate. Because what we see here is that you cannot go through any kind of transaction procuring goods and services without any vouchers, even check or cash invoices, nothing of the kind. So look, this Liberia, as I stated earlier, I mentioned earlier on the beginning of the show, we are still hopeful that we have a Liberian out there who will come and really rescue this country.
Wow.
The likes of, we have tried people, we have seen them. It's too early to see, this government, but the way they are proceeding, the signs on the walls tell us that, it might be business as usual. So 2029, we'll be looking forward to see who will step up. I hope the likes of Taiwan, Gonglo, Fremont, Simon Fremont, are these guys, and then Mr. Cummings. Liberians will give him the chance to change this country.
But before moving to those other people that you just talking about, this thing it's just bothering me. 24 million, say almost $30 million. Yeah, $30 million. You know, Tottenham, my former school, I went when I visited Liberia. If you go to a place like the whole building dilapidated, you see they have not pinned that building from the time I left Tottenham. Just tell you. And you taking EPS alone, $30 million. Now, next door, there's Old Road. There's no government high school there. $30 million. Think on this carefully. That could construct a lot of schools in a place, pay teacher better wage for good. I mean, it just thinking about it, just my blood just boiling. That's a lot of money. So these guys,
yeah, go ahead, Paul. Go ahead.
I mean, they just get rich overnight, and we keep saying, "Oh, why is Liberia not progressing?" These are the places that they spend the money. Could you imagine how many security officers they have to protect the executive mansion that will have over $30 million just walk away like that free?
No, but the money was not paid. It was not used for salary arrears.
Yeah, they said goods and services. So that's
but goods and services. It could be the allegedly said they bought. Let's see. That make it simple. You know, a ring machine, or computers.
yes.
They probably say, maybe they
bought
order.
firearms.
Yeah, firearms and uniforms.
No, they don't wear uniform these days.
Oh, right. They
don't
do.
wear uniform. So
they wear some stupid thing. They got them with big pockets on it. Now it's not like when you're in the back back in the days where the boys were in the sky blue and navy blue, trousers, and their patent shoes, all looking very good. With wear some stupid thing hanging on them, look, with big pockets and with guns. So I mean, they look so ragtag. They don't look professional anymore. So I don't know. This is embarrassing. It's just the threat of corruption. That is going along our country. I mean, we have to do something. The government has to investigate this. Most of the guys are not in the country, so I hope we have an extradition treaty with America, most of it in America and in the neighboring countries around here, so they can bring them to account for this money.
So okay, let's welcome guys to the program. It's been a while, guys. Welcome.
Okay, I'm audible now, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you, Lord Cholo Play. Thank you, and thanks to all of our regular viewers, our listeners via radio. Thanks to you, Francis Mensah, President Francis Mensah, and thanks to all of us, the Bottom Line team. It's good to be back.
It's good to be back. You met in having a discussion about the audit report that came on the EPS. There are more reports to come out, and we just been told in this little report that the EPS between July 2018 to 2023 walk away free with almost $30 million. Free. No, they said they were used for goods and services, but no paper to show where they bought. That money just walk free.
But I mean, listen, before God come in, I mean, look at the connection. I mean, our two major financial institutions involved here: the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning and the central bank. The central bank should be the reservoir where the money is kept, and any disbursement of money should be, from the central bank, it has to go through some procedures. And, I don't know how come I mean, they just released their monies. So it's unfortunate that it's a corruption trail. It's a syndicate. So I mean, yeah, guy, you can go ahead, you can come in.
Yeah, I think you concluded with exactly what I would have started with is a total big and huge syndicate that the guys operate. And you won't even believe people sit out of government and control things that happen in government. All of these small corruption that goes on in government. Some people in government are working for people outside of government. People outside of government are the strategists who strategize these things and then give it to people in government. They use them as the tools to get the money out. And like when I joined, I heard Francis talking about how we should get them back. And one good thing I like about some of our institutions, most especially the GAC, I like how the GAC takes its own time to investigate some financial issues. It happened during Madam Salif time. Unlike the finance ministry that will just run with something and after 3 months you hear them reverting, on their words and say, oh, this was this one. Then they're looking for terms to apply to those things that they've said before. But sometimes GAC takes time to investigate these things and come up with it, and it's facts. So I hope that some of them are still in the country because I listened to you contributing to it, Francis, that if we got treated with Morocco, they can extradite them. But here's the thing, some of the guys, Francis, are American citizens. So it will make it tougher for us to extradite them to Liberia to investigate them. A lot of them are what they do. They come here, explore. That's why you see often they will be crying, they want job in Liberia, they want job in Liberia. Some of them, some people come with good records, some people come with good character, and they can help build Liberia, they can change things around. But a lot of them come so that when they on break in the US, when they on break other places, they can just come to make some free money and think that Liberia that's some kind of farm, bro. We have to stop it, and we got to improve our country because I mean, years to come, some of the children born outside of Liberia will want to carry on the knowledge, the know-how they're getting from here, the technical know-how they're getting from here. They want to carry it back to their roots, And when we say we are Liberian, we want our children to enjoy Liberia. How can we make our children enjoy Liberia when we are not even building the foundation? We're already exploiting the country. What there for the children to go and support to? Nothing will be left. So on this topic, I will want the government to right now call, like Francis said, the central bank, the finance ministry, finance planning and development. How was the money released? On what basis? Who were the signatories to the line of monies that were released? Let the investigation start from there. Then you beginning with something.
But Francis and Mr. Tolman, I just want you to, this is just one entity. So imagine, because the president promised us that he was going to audit the entire government. So think on this. It's just one entity that GAC is pointing finger at. Imagine the rest of them. The amount of money that they could think on this carefully. Just one entity would walk away with 30 million free. Then let's talk about other institutions. If they audit all of them, so then we found the root cause of this big elephant meat that everyone keep cutting.
Man, look, Paul, this is institutionalized. It become it's systemic in Liberia. It run across all government, functionaries, institutions, and workplaces. It's just systemic in Liberia, and the GAC reports are always valid. It should be non-political. It's a non-political institution. They have the independence they're protected by law. So when these reports are given, they should be turned over to the anti-corruption institution, or else we have the anti-graft, institutions. Reports should be handed to them and then forwarded to the Ministry of Justice for prosecution. But that is between these institutions that the implementation or the enforcement of these reports falls short, because people it become compromised between these institutions. The Liberia Anti-Corruption Institution and something else where this guy and the Ministry of Justice. So all these people in the government, former government employees and current government, they are all friends. I mean, they don't want to prosecute each other.
Wow.
So the people are friends. I mean, they all aware is like, I'm also I'm waiting for you. As soon as you leave, we come to our own. It's just the same thing when I'm borrowing your leave. So that is so that I said we need people. We need these kind of leaders that will come and change the whole trend. This thing is systemic, it's institutionalized in the country, and we need to change it.
We need to change it. Wow. This is anyway. Guys, you want to chip in about all of them instead of just one institution? Let's find out where they beat where's the elephant meat that's sitting somewhere that everyone keep cutting and we cannot really stop the cutting of the elephant meat.
Yeah, but elephant meat, the elephant meat is the central bank. Everybody keeping the money. That's why I'm going to call it. The Ministry of Finance will get a voucher, and all these people, all these institutions, all the government agencies, they send these things are channeled to the central, the Ministry of Finance, and goes to the central bank. So that where the meat is the central. The elephant is the central bank.
Wow.
I mean, like at EPA, let me give a scenario before I can contribute to that. At one time I worked at the EPA and I saw how things went, and I could tell, in as much as I was way down the line. But because of the connection, the people I was interacting with, and how I worked there, I worked in some places and I would listen to some things and I was understanding how these things happen. And some processes would be given some terms, would be named in certain way, not knowing it has a general name or an acceptable name by government or by that institution. But they reform it because some financial gain is coming that they should achieve. So they reform that particular action or that service that they will render. Example, if they were doing a wash training, water sanitation and something training, right, in hygiene, they will redesign wash into 3 or 4 different segments with different names and attach budgetary allotment to them. And the government know of one spending, or they're going to either report one spending. The expenditure will be just a one report for expenditure. But they've gotten up to tons of thousands.
Wow.
So like Ben said, all of these institutions, not just one, but start, like we said, for instance, on the same line, start with the head. These people that are cutting a piece of paper that we can say, okay, the disbursement check, these people that are signing the final signature for it to be disbursed, the people that are receiving to do procurement, everybody needs to be involved. You can just touch one. I think it is also the responsibility of the president, because I'm sure these are some of his campaign promises to the Liberian people. to fight corruption. And it cannot be under your watch. You're here to change. It cannot be under your watch. So
Wow.
all of these institutions needs to be audited and investigated.
All of the institution need to be audited and investigated. So,
And the
Francis,
system itself,
the
I
system
mean,
is,
all these
yeah,
institutions, their system, you need to do a thorough check, you know, carry out a thorough check. If you need to rebuild their system there, you rebuild it. The way they function, the way they organize things, the way they carry on their duties there. Check it.
so I
How
like
is a
what you,
minister collaborating with his people? How is a minister carrying on his function? How is the government money being spent on his ministry?
I like what you and Francis said. Start with the head, which is the finance ministry. At my workplace, right? If my manager want to order for something, every department have a code. And based on that code, when you order, the code will be attached to the paper the way you ordering. So at the end of the day, when they do auditing, they know based on your office code, you don't see physical cash. So if they start with finance ministry, where Francis say that is the place that when they clean up finance ministry, I don't think we'll get people walking with $30 million free.
Not at all.
See? So I agree with both of you on that.
Look, Liberia is a very peculiar country. It's unique, in its own way. We do a lot of unconventional things in Liberia. As a matter of fact, where we work in the Western world, in Europe, how we function, how things are procured. We have similar laws. I know, it's just policy is similar. But the problem with Liberia is that the culture of impunity, the political connections, and the mindset of people going there to get rich, they enrich themselves. Everybody see it as an opportunity to improve their lives. These guys who have worked in the private sector, I know they made a little or nothing. I mean, the income was just enough to manage their expenses. Pay your rent and buy your gas and eat, your food, and probably save $100 to $200 to $300. But with the government of Liberia, when you get in there, there's huge opportunities for graft, corruption, and then it's a whole syndicate. People just want to rip. Liberia is the prostitute. Everybody wants to sleep with her. Everybody want to rip her off. And how long can we? How long can she endure that? As a country, we have gone through this for years, and we expect changes. Everybody will come with a sweeter talk. Oh, this will happen with this and that. But the political way to start, look, we need that. If they are become president, I bet the first thing I would do, I'll pay more prisons.
Wow. So, Francis, I know you've been calling that it can be business as usual, the way things are from one group of people that served before come back to do the same thing. There was an article yesterday came out, and if God's back, he will take us through. I saw this article, and you are calling, say maybe Liberia may not look at other people come 2029 that in Taiwan, the Clarence Dr. Mova, that the comments and all of that people should now start looking. I saw this article yesterday. I'm going to put this up here. Cummings is thinking about 2029. That's the New Republic that posted this. And we know that ABC himself have been quiet lately. He have not said anything. But then this thing popped up yesterday that he thinking of 2029. What say you?
Look, Mr. Cummings, from from all indications, he to be a very good manager of the country. The way he's used, doing things in the corporate world may not be the same where you have the systems and controls and processes in that would be applicable to the setting in Liberia as a country. If Mr. Cummings will have the will, the political will to muscle corruption, first of all, starts with his own people, that will be a very, very, important attribute to have. Yes, he may be thinking about running 2029, and I think he would be one of those untested, candidates in the race. So we have been tested, so we know what they can do. They cannot they are not the alternative. Unity Party have been tested. They've been tested twice. I don't think they are the alternative either. But it's too early to say that. So we'll see. In the middle of President Boyga's presidency, things might change. I say all those things because look, our leaders' inability to chastise, it would be the best word to say, because the president of the country, to chastise your followers, your leaders, your cronies, your close people. That's the problem. So yeah, Cummings, he's a Liberian. He has a right to, to vie for the highest office in the country. And I personally feel that, from where he comes from the corporate world, that was used against him, to the ignorance of our people back home, because where Mr. Cummings reach, it's not by luck. Yeah, it's not by no political will. It is by how you call it, your experience and the way you I forgot the word I want to use. And the students are taking over my English now.
You can start speaking global and all that. Maybe people understand what's going on.
And I forget all global everything. And so the way you exert yourself at a job. So Mr. Cummings, so yeah. So the presidency, he was robbed of it because of those misinformation that was upon him. Comparing the corporate world and the presidency. This, I think, is similar. It's just as management. Is you head of a management team. That's it. I hope that Liberians can see reason to have him given the opportunity to be president of the country.
So, guys, Mr. Cummings is thinking about coming back 2029. That's the New Republic article. And what Francis just said about the misinformation in Liberia, about people talking that he didn't have government experience. And one thing we feel to realize, government is actually a business. They run a business. So running a business, corporation run business, government run business. The Western government, all of them are big business that how they generate money. So what is the difference with not having government experience in Liberia? When you say government experience in Liberia, we just talked about the EPS just now, that they walk away with $30 million easily. That's government experience in Liberia. Talk to
Yeah,
me about.
yeah. Paul, I mean, I have to go. I mean, I have to leave very, soon. I mean,
Yeah.
guy, let me just take just 1 minute of your time. Look, let me just say this to you. Uh, the newly elected Prime Minister of the UK, he was not president of the UK before. I think
No.
you said, he was. I mean, did he work in government?
A businessman.
Exactly. The current Prime Minister of Sweden, you know, working government or in life, and he's a Prime Minister. So
So
we
even add
need,
to you, Francis, the great United States, Trump came from business and corporate area before he
yeah,
went to politics and the presidency.
yeah. So we need to dispel that kind of notion. Come 2023 or now or 2029, we need to stop. We need to start the advocacy and dispelling those sick notions right now that you have to be in government. You be in government, you still have to be in government to learn how to steal. The only experience they got from government to steal.
Yeah. So, Francis, I want you to stay for the next 5 minutes before we close up, because I
Yeah.
want to hear what God say, and also want him to talk because he is the person behind the July 26th thing, for him to talk to us too. So I
Yeah,
want
sure.
to yeah.
So
So that's
I
your
get
take on
I
this.
I'll be here for the next 15 minutes. No.
Okay. Okay.
Well, on a serious note, trust me, Francis, Mr. Mensah, you wouldn't have said it any much better than how you said it. You know, one, I've said this before. I think the war has an impact on a lot of the things that have gone wrong in the country. Yes, of course, till today's date. But the war is no more. We're now the people who are supposed to change things around, but instead, we're still living in the notion like we still have the existence of, armed conflict, where anything can happen, anybody can do anything, and any decision can be made. Where, people are not being schooled, people are not educated. But no, we having total opposite. We having schools are open. We having new institutions are being built. In fact, new government institutions are being formed. But instead, what do? We still live in the old age. We still live in the old notion. How could we be telling people that somebody from the corporate world cannot change things? Why do you come from the corporate world to go hold government office? Oh, it only good for ministers? It only good for deputy ministers? It's not good for somebody to become the president to come from the corporate world. He's Liberian. He's capable. He's qualified. Or you use that kind of notion to tell the people, because we have this illiterate population. I think Mr. Cummings also need to start fighting from there. Let's change the people's mind and change their attitude. Once their minds are changed, their attitude will change. We need to start looking at that, because if those who want to corrupt the country and steal from the country are using this notion, it is our own responsibility. It is Mr. Cummings' responsibility now to counter fight, counter argue that. And
Yeah.
he cannot do it alone. It has to be Mr. Cholople, it has to be Francis Mensah, Augustus Tume, the Dolly, the rest of the people, those in America, the Du, Yatsendi, all the other people from the ANC. You have to convey this message on behalf of the Standard Bearer. He alone cannot do it. In fact, we are the one hearing these things every day. We are the one being confronted with it. So if these messages are going to Mr. Cummings, they must be coming from us to him. that the people said this, the people have said this. Yes, he listened to some of it, like when people have told him that, but we are the frontliners and we receive these messages and we have to act upon them.
No, but God, 1 minute. Wait, no, Mr. Cummings, I think he was the only person, or even one or two of the presidential candidates that visited in every part of that country.
Sure.
And what was the messaging? Was it wrong? Was it that what was the misstep? What the people did not get? So that's why his team has to come to go back to the drawing board. Because one thing I noticed, the people say, "Oh, the people, Mr. Cummings talking about change, the people behind him." Who should he bring behind him? Because the same people, Unity Party got the CEO corrupt people behind him. All the people who work in the government, past government for 12 years, who got broke, was begging around. When some of them went back to the States, they came running back. They're the CEO people. And the CDC had the same people. They'll be having the same people behind them as well for the past regime, corrupt 6 years people. So I think that the messaging can change. I think, going around the country, it helped, but something his team, the media team, his strategist has to improve on,
Exactly, President Mensah, exactly. Like I always said this during some of ANC meetings, right? I listened to somebody who is presumed as a stakeholder in the ANC. It was during one of the campaign period when the ALP and the ANC should have gone to Nimba County. CR, you remember that tour of Nimba County with Mr. Ure and Mr. Cummings. It should have started from Ganta, Nimba County. And there were strategies presented. And this stakeholder from the ANC counter argued that we have to do it the Liberian traditional way, the traditional political way, the way it have always been done. You're always using it and it's not working. It's like Chelsea for the last 3 seasons using one strategy and we can't get anything out of it.
In like England, for over 58 years, the football can't come home.
Yeah, you see.
Yeah.
So you have to change it. And to just buttress Mr. Mensah, right? Francis, is not just the common people anymore that the message needs to resonate with. Those who are forming part of state decision, making, decision in the country. Example, when ANC had a collaboration, I think changing the minds of the people should have started with the people you collaborate with. Because, example, you should always plan for a setback. Had the ANC planned for a split with the CPP or with the ALP and the Unity Party, they would have had a better strategy to confront both parties, and they would have either lost just one political party from their merger instead of losing 2 political parties from their merger. So the strategy also need to go around that way, not just with the Liberian and the citizenry. It has to go to the people making decisions, the people who want stake in government as well. If you see here, Mr. Chilople wants to become a minister, or he was a minister before, and he's trying to gain from you. You now need to campaign your strategy to Mr. Chilople. Like, look, I don't mind having you on my team, but I come with this standard, I come with this character. Except you bring it on board, except you protect mine, you cannot come with yours.
Right. Right.
But so, like the president said, the media team, the rest of the people promoting Mr. Cummings that was selling him on that, we all should shoulder the responsibility. That's why you see immediately when numbers were counted, I wrote a long message in that group. It's still there. And I will read on it again and maybe send a revised version to it. And it's just in line with what the president has said, Mr. Mensah has said.
Right.
Selling him was done poorly.
Poorly. So we'll
Yeah.
just have a quick intro, musical intro, and then we'll go into the last segment, and then we can close up.
You are watching the review of Liberian newspapers headlines that made news during the week on the Bottom Line Liberia. Please join us every Tuesday and Friday at 7 p.m. Liberian time, 8 p.m. UK time, 9 Central European time.
Right. Guys, we know this will be a July 26th program in Germany, and we know you one of the key players in this. What is your role in this coming July 26th celebration in Germany?
I see you don't be having the president on board on the meeting yet. They be telling me how to keep it
No,
up.
no,
Oh, you know, I'm a position.
Complicit God, and I've been told quietly that you the man behind all of these images that will be, look. I just want to hear what is your role, because we've been hearing the whisper that this guy is responsible for this function, like this one here, for example. Say you behind it. So I just want to know your role. That's all. Who the man
No,
behind
like
this?
let
Behind this.
me make few things clear. AFLA is
That's
a unique institution, and I'm proud to have had the blessings of the president himself to get me to where I am today. So on that note, I work with a team, and Mr. Stephen Carley served as my boss. He is the engineer behind all of the things you see happening for the promotion and the public information today. So it's a
right.
teamwork. It's done by the Media, Press, and Public Relation Office of AFLA. All thanks to President Francis Mensah, and his brilliance is the one that is getting things happening today. So Mr. Mensah and our team and the Liberian Association as well in Germany is doing quite well in carrying out the message, to the Liberian people that IFLA is bringing in a new form of, celebrating and jubilating, our country's independence, in as much as we are fighting corruption and fighting to educate the few minds and change minds and attitudes. But here in Europe, since we are like-minded people, those with the technical skills, the credentials, like President Mensah and the other people, are making sure that they can bring on board a new generation, of leaders. President Mensah often mentioned that it is your thing now. We've engineered it, we've take it on for long, and you guys just have to follow the format that we've laid. So, and I like that from him. I applaud him for that. So yeah, without the support of my own boss, Mr. Stephen Carley, yeah, our department will now have all of the praises or the work being done today. But also hats up to the media team from the LAD, because our appointment, came in made of the promotional period of the event. But yesterday, the president did not rest. He was on the phone every night with us, and he was on our backs. And we had to just collaborate and work along with the media team from LAD and generate a lot. And we still have the lot more. The president is working on a lot more with us. Trust me. And that's why I
So
said the other day on the closing argument, Francis should be thinking about something bigger in Liberia, because his mind for the country is big, and he's working greatly. So yeah, we say thanks to him and thanks to the rest of the team from Bottom Line, from AFLA, the board, the executive, all the executive, everybody doing everything that is making sure that July 26th will be a remarkable and a memorable one.
okay. Now, I want you to take us through for like the next 2 minutes, because I heard the rumor that there will be, from the day people arrive, they'll be all in white or red or blue or green. You just take us through this flyer. I would just want to know, to encourage our people to go talk to us.
Yeah. So the event is in 3 parts, and They have the excursion, which is the indoor program, as we call it or term it. They have the red carpet event and a ball, all happening on the same day. Then the first thing that occurred, the first thing that going to happen is the meet and greet. And after the meet and greet is where you have the white party. And this is a unique occasion. And I think white represents purity. And if we want to rebrand Liberia, like the president is pushing the message for young people to rebrand Liberia. So it represents purity. And the white party is going to be, I think, right after, not even I think, but after the meet and greet, we have the white party. And the indoor program, we have the senator of Bapolu County, Honorable Amara Kone, who will be giving a keynote speech. And we are hopeful that he will have, the time to allot time for questioning, that he could receive some questions and views from Liberian people here in the diaspora. We will hear from President Mensah concerning that and the LAD team, if that is possible, because we do not control his itinerary. He has his plan that he comes with, and I'm sure that he has given it to either our boss, the president, or maybe to the LAD that we will access and know. And then they have this cultural exchange, where we want to let the people in the diaspora know that, hey, our own culture is unique, where we're going to be having a mixture of food, and different kind of cultural activities that will go on. It may not last for long, but yes, it's going to be unique in its own time interval. So that's another part of the program. And another part is where we have the soccer tournament, is hours long tournament where kickball will be played and soccer will be played. And we have teams coming from Sweden. I'm sure, yes, for a fact, a team is coming from Sweden. I don't know whether President Mensah will captain the team, but I'm aware that the team is coming. And we have, some other Liberian communities have organized themselves. They have their teams here in Germany.
God, I mean,
And,
they were right there. And I Samuel do, and I Joe, we are on it. My food, I want to carry the work. And you, I'll cherry
okay.
more.
Okay. Yeah. So we're going to have the soccer tournament, and that's another fun part of the event, that we can tell the Europeans that, okay, we have talented Liberians here in as much as we live in this part of the world, but these are skills that come from Liberia, and these are talents that are from Liberia.
Right.
Then
Right.
to the main indoor program, where we're going to be listening to the keynote speech.
Yeah, I mean, let me just add that. I mean, look, Friday is the AGM, the annual General Assembly from EFLA, where we'll be having discussions about EFLA. We'll be doing presenting the financial report, from July 26, 2023 to July 26, 2024. On the 1 year span of my administration, we're going to have, topics or discussion all about EFLA, how we, the delegates from, attending from the various countries, can bring can proffer some ideas, suggestions, meaningful, workable, doable ideas that we, help EFLA along the way. So then on Saturday, we will have the formal indoor program, where it will be an hour and a half or 2 hours, where we have speeches from our dignitaries, ambassador, and and then the keynote address. So it shouldn't it did not appear on the flyers that these events, that these things will be happening. And but I just want to let the public know that this is not all about just about the prom and pageantry, the fun, but we have serious issues to discuss. About EFLA and the Liberian community in Europe, as well as uh, our obligation to our country, Liberia, back home, about projects what we're going to undertake. So yeah, so these are going to be discussed at the or during the 3 days event, especially on Friday and Saturday.
Friday and Saturday. Thanks for the update. So guys, we've been here over an hour now. We're gonna wrap it up. So
Yeah.
we did talk about the Council of Churches now calling on the government to audit the ministry, those who were responsible for the $22 million that were given for the road rehabilitation. We also look at the EPS that walked away with almost $30 million free between 2018 and 2023. God, Tonmaha could have been a good institution with that money. Thinking about it, we have a lot of young people today on the street they call Zocos, and a group of people just walk away with $30 million. So on that note, guys, I want a parting comment from each of you. Give your parting comment. I'll start with Francis and then guys, and then we'll close on a little message from something we call corruption. Francis.
Look, my parting comment would be to the government of Liberia. You were voted into office based upon your manifesto, the arrest agenda, and I think what encompasses that stuff is that it strikes the code of corruption, and it's too early to have people crying about corruption in the country under the administration within 6 months. It's not what we voted you guys for. It's not what we advocated for. It's not what we financed this. We contributed our meager resources to see this government come into being or taking the helm of leadership in the country. All those who are responsible for corrupt acts should be fired and turned over for persecution. This will serve as a deterrent. It cannot be business as usual in this country. Under the leadership of EFLA, we will speak against those things, irrespective of what we supported the government or not. It's our national and our civil duty, citizens' duty to make sure that that these things are brought to the public glare, and that the government should take actions. It's unfortunate that we'll be celebrating 177 years and we still look like a village. Not a village in the Western country, because the villages there are more better than it's a village in I don't know which country, I don't know. So yeah, on that note, yeah, that will be my parting comments. That we expect more, we expect the president and his team to act on any semblance of corruption in the country, because Liberia deserves better. Yeah. Both of you, Paul, you meet there, Paul.
Am I muted now? Or it's okay?
It's Paul. Paul is muted.
Oh,
Go on, guys. Sorry.
yeah. What I would say is, I just want to remind I want to remind us as Liberian, most especially the paper from the daily that you shared, that we could think about it as Liberia as a country, whether we want somebody that would build Liberia, help us in bringing up a new governing system, or we still want to be dancing. Sorry, excuse me. That we still want to be dancing around and crying and following all these old politicians that will keep, robbing us of millions of dollars that could better our country. So I want to caution us, I want to appeal to us Liberians to think about it and ask Mr. Cummings to diligently serve and make sure that that character and that expertise that he has, he can bring it to government and make the change that Liberia deserves. Lastly, I also want to remind people in the diaspora, John A. Fly, 26th of July, 2028, and celebrate Independence Day like you've never done before. Thank you.
Right. Thank you. So I'll play a quick message from the team. Send out message that they want this play from the promotion for the event and after that I will close with our message from what made corruption is dangerous. So Francie, you can let me see if I can get this up quickly to play this. Okay, bear with me a minute before you guys. All right. This is it.
Liberians, hello diaspora Liberians. It's July 26th celebration time. Oh yeah! This is the event you've long been waiting for. Diaspora Liberians, get ready for a celebration like no other. The Liberian Independence Day extravaganza is here. Mark your calendar for this year's July 26th commemoration in Wolfsburg, Germany, as the European Federation of Liberian Associations, for short AFLA, presents a day full of pure blaze, from a star-studded meet and greet to a rare carpet event and on to a dazzling all-night web party and an all-Liberian case and cultural exchange, traditional food fair that will warm your heart. And let's not forget the epic sports showdown in soccer and kickball between Liberians and non-Liberian teams. But wait, there's more. Soul-stirring musical performances from trending Liberians and non-Liberian artists will light up the night. Join us for a day you will never forget. And please don't miss out. And don't forget the keynote speech by Senator Amara Conan, a distinguished Liberian figure. This event attracts Liberians and well-wishers from all around the world for a memorable celebration. Book your hotels, tickets, and souvenirs now before it's too late. VIP ticket, a table of 4 persons, is 300 euros. The easy table or the VVIP, a table of 2 persons, is for 300 euros, while the ordinary or the regular ticket is for just 50 euros. Be a part of an unforgettable experience at AFLA's celebration of the 26th. We see you there, and please bring somebody. Don't enjoy this unique occasion all alone. President Francis Mensah say, see you there, and he's joining you to celebrate the 26th. And this message is brought to you by the Media, Press and Public Relations Office of AFLA.
Beautiful. Be looking forward to you all in Germany. So I'll close all on this to our audience. Just listen to this. How corruption kills society. Say good night to everyone.
Corruption is a vile disease that sucks and drains the health out of something good. Corruption in society is an evil moral infection that keeps community in the state of perpetual sickness. Corruption is a moral virus. It's so potent, it leaves its host sick, lethargic, and unable to realize and accomplish all that a well person can. Where corruption thrives, poverty and not prosperity thrives. Wealth is grabbed into the greedy, grubby hands of those who get fat on the toil and labor of good people. Corruption benefits only temporarily those who participate in it. Everyone else is a victim of the theft, the deceit, the dishonesty, and the lies that corruption feeds on. You need to know that a corrupt person is stealing from you. Corruption is filthy work and despicable acts of treachery done under the table and behind closed doors. Corruption is a disgusting shame. Corruption keeps a nation back from true development and from progress. Wise investors steer clear of a corrupt environment. They would rather put their resources into a place where the playing field of opportunity is equal for all and not bent towards feeding the financial lust of corrupt, lying, cheating, thieving politicians and government officials. How many wonderful development projects have been lost because the investors didn't want to do business in a swamp of evil? When those great projects go to another nation or to some other place, we all lose. Believe me when I tell you that corruption steals from you, it steals from all of us. Corruption plunders the nation's wealth. Corrupt people compromise on truth, equity, and fairness, choosing instead to feed off the short-term benefits of crookedness, exploitation, and financial perversion. Corruption is not just a personal matter, it's a culture. It's a way of life, not just for individual people, but for companies, communities, governments, and nations. Corrupt nations, hiding behind large companies, will seek to invest in other weak nations in order to take over the assets of the nation that they've invested into. They will provide financial loans to a nation for the much needed infrastructure, and they will do it with assets that they provide. They will sign contracts by lining the pockets of rotten government officials who participate in this kind of corruption and are then held hostage by their own deceit and greed. Corruption is nothing less than a form of theft and national robbery. A corrupt person steals from everyone in society. We all lose when corruption is rampant. Those who participate in corruption have chosen evil over good, lies over truth, and personal gain over well-being of all. To be corrupt means to be rotten. When meat is corrupt, it's rotten and it stinks. Rotten meat can't be eaten. When a person is corrupt, he's rotten and unfit for a place in the community. A corrupt person should be jailed in order to protect society from the vile deeds of the corrupt person. Government should be protecting us from the foul results of corruption instead of being the proponents and participants in corruption. When corruption is systemic, when it's a culture and a way of life, when corruption thrives, it destroys the health of the community and nation. Now let me tell you something. Defeating corruption is a very difficult thing. The love of money is the root of all evil, the Bible says. People who love money will do almost anything to get it. Those who choose to stand up against corruption, you need to know that we're going to be involved in a war. We will be threatened, vilified, intimidated, marginalized, and ridiculed. These kind of people who stand up against corruption will often feel alone, as if they are the problem instead of the solution. Corruption can only be defeated when enough people have had enough and decide to do something about it. Africa needs to raise up a new generation of corrupt-free young people who